Hi, it's Steve Bousquet. I'm so excited to be here. I want to thank everyone who's joining us for this live event of the book launch for Profit First for lawn care and landscape businesses. So today we're going to have a live event. We're going to have some guests on. We're going to share their stories. The guys and the people who are on this live event have been profoundly impacted by Profit First, or just realizing the impact that Profit First can have on their business. Quick introduction. My name is Steve Bousquet. I'm the co-founder of Green Profit Academy. My partner is Christine Era, the author of Profit First for lawn care and landscape businesses. I've owned a lawn care and landscape business. Next year will be my 40th year. I practice Profit First in my own business and have been for the past 5 years. So Profit First really helped my business, and I wanted it to impact the rest of the green industry because people in the green industry are just the hardest working people, and I just wanted some financial education to really help them succeed. So I would like to introduce Christine Era, who is the author of Profit First for lawn care and landscape businesses. And Christine, my partner in the Green Profit Academy, she is the co-founder of the Green Profit Academy. She's also the owner of Core Strategy. She's an accountant and consultant professional who has helped hundreds of small businesses and mid-sized businesses improve their cash flow, their profits, and achieve stronger growth. In Profit First for lawn care and landscape businesses, she is providing a specific industry toolbox to help owners of these businesses manage their expenses, increase their gross profit margins as high as 65%. She's passionate about helping her clients flourish and grow. She is a certified Profit First professional at the mastery level, a pumpkin plan strategist, a Fix This Next advisor, and QuickBook Pro advisor. And with no further time wasted, I would like to introduce Christine Era.
Hi, I'm really excited to be here today and talk to you guys about the new release of Profit First for lawn care and landscape businesses. It's been a long time coming, so I'm really glad that we're at this point and everybody will be able to access the book, access all the amazing tools that we have for the book, and just get out there and support this industry.
So this book, Christine is my Profit First professional. And this book has been 2 years in the making. And there's been an incredible amount of work that has been put into this book. No stone was left unturned. No discussion was not had to make this book the best possible book it could be. Christine, just tell me about, what was the journey like writing this book?
So it started out, I guess years ago with me getting into the accounting world and, the small business community, being an entrepreneur myself. And I've always supported the, service-based industries. And, I found Profit First, I found pumpkin planning, and that became, a huge part of my toolbox in supporting my clients in their growth and their businesses. And I kept, getting these challenges from, the people in this industry specifically, and I wanted to figure out how to support them. So I was really resistant to, niche down into this industry, but I supported, a good handful of clients. And, once I really committed, I went all in and continued to address the challenges as they came to me from all of the people that I was working with. You kind of being the starter of all of it and asking me questions and bringing me these challenges to address and coming up with these solutions. So I, dove in deep, and then a couple years later, I, was looking at writing the book, and it was kind of being asked about, are you going to do this? And, this is an opportunity. And nobody had committed to this yet. So I figured, okay, I'm going to go all in and commit to this and support the industry. And that was back in March of 2020. And it's been coming together ever since. So, improving the tools, the toolboxes, really diving in and trying to make it easier for any business owner in this industry. And, so here we are.
Yes, here we are. And we got a message this morning from Mike Michalowicz after I shared that the book was #1 in the accounting standard category on Amazon. And Mike congratulated both of us. And I was like, that's pretty awesome that Mike Michalowicz is congratulating us on this book, on the launching of this book. When I first read Profit First in 2015, I would have never imagined I was going to be getting that message from him. And so that was really awesome. Christine and I go on a retreat. It's been annually, except for the COVID year, with Dr. Rena Starling, Breakthrough on the Bayous retreat. And Mike Michalowicz is there at the retreat and sharing his knowledge and inspiring us. So I originally went on the retreat just to meet Mike Michalowicz. And, since then I've met a lot of amazing people, Christine, and, the whole inspiration came from Mike Michalowicz and our relationships that we built professionally, and the questions and struggles that we shared. So if you want to buy the book, it's in the chat. Amber has put in the chat. It's I'm not going to read it, but you can get it right on Amazon. But there is a book page that you should go through the chat. If you go through what's been posted, there's bonuses that you can get if you buy it through the sales page. So this is what the book looks like. It's on sale today, but you're going to be way better off going through that link that's in the chat. You'll get extra bonuses. There's free tools that are being offered for people that are buying the book. And those tools are definitely something I wish I had 20 years ago. That would have been really helpful. There's a lot of tools that Christine has developed for Green Profit Academy that do not exist anywhere else in the industry. And they are super specific just for lawn care and landscape, which is really, really powerful. So Christine, do you want to share with us a little bit about what Green Profit Academy is and some of the offerings they're having?
Yeah, so Green Profit Academy is specifically for the lawn care and landscape industry. And we put together 3 different Profit First workshops that are available. So you can learn how to implement Profit First in your business. And it goes all the way from a basic workshop all the way to an advanced workshop. And Steve and I are going to be, delivering those, and they start in January. And we also do a group coaching program that has been developed. And in the group coaching program, we have 6 different groups, and they're based off of levels. So where you're at in your business. And we have 3 mastermind groups to support those. And they're also, leveled on where you're at in your business. So you can grow through, the program and level up as you continue to learn more, implement more in your business. And, everybody needs to be supported in different ways depending on their business model. We're also going to be adding several other courses as we continue, to move forward. And it's all going to be focused towards the industry, helping support their internal bookkeepers and their office managers. Also talking about profit, how to talk about profit with your team, how to talk about your numbers, how to implement systems and processes. So we're going to have lots of little, courses and workshops available to support this industry. We also have the Green Profit Toolbox, which is free. And it's something that you can sign up for. It's listed in the book. It has all the tools that are listed in the book. And then we also have a membership program for the Green Profit Toolbox. And the membership program is above and beyond just the free toolbox. it has online calculators and additional tools that help you really streamline your business and dial in to maximize your profit. So those are, my absolute favorite tools. I thought that the free toolbox was my favorite tools. And then when I dove deeper and started building the ones up for the membership, I'm even more excited for you guys to use these.
I was so excited about the toolboxes because Christine and I developed them. I kind of gave her some of the idea of the challenges, and then she developed them. She built them out. But I mean, there's tools like when you should replace your equipment, what return on investment you should expect, how to plan for next year. Just there's a whole bunch of toolboxes that are really powerful tools. And one of the big things I like about the coaching program is that there's levels. So once you get to a certain point, you move up to the next level, which is more content, more details, and it's just instead of being stuck in one content category, you're always learning and growing. And then a huge part, and I think this might be really just this program that I've heard of, is the support that's going to be there for the bookkeeper and the office manager on implementing Profit First. Because I'll share, when I thought I understood it and I told my bookkeeper and office manager how to implement it, I gave them the wrong information and it had to be corrected. Owners, we have a lot of other things to do. We're not always the best at relaying really detailed bookkeeping and accounting information. And I was one of those owners. So we're really stepping up and stepping in to help the bookkeeper and the office manager. So it's not just the owner alone on this journey. So super excited about the coaching. I just want to say, people are buying the book. Alyssa got her copy. Thank you very much. Steve Dale's here. Don Zerby, he got 10 copies this morning. I know he's really got a lot of friends in the green industry, and I'm sure he's gonna share those. We are Russell Skipper's here, loves a different idea level. It's really about the green industry, and that's why we're doing this. We just want to make a really big impact for the green industry. Okay, so we're really excited to have guests on this event with us. So thrilled that they are here with us. And the first person I'm going to bring up is Linda Staff. She is part of the retreat that we go to. She's also a Profit First professional. And she has her niche is working with small business owners. She's a certified public accountant and a financial advisor. Linda works with businesses, owners, families, and individuals by helping them safeguard their wealth and prepare for their future. Linda's extensive background in developing custom financial plan allows her to address unique needs of each client with the utmost consideration and responsibility. Linda's passion to help clients protect their wealth stems from her own personal experiences. After Linda's father passed away when she was a teenager, her mother was faced with reduced income while struggling to keep a mortgage and business afloat. Driven by what happened to her family, Linda is deeply invested in her client's success with a background as a licensed financial advisor and a CPA, which is an awesome combination to have. Linda has over 20 years of experience providing comprehensive financial services. Linda enjoys a good bourbon like I do, a good microbrewery like many of us, and Linda has a team of 8 players that are consistently developing and improving their skills. I would like to welcome Linda on our event.
Hey, Steve and Christine, this is great. I'm glad to be a part of this. That's really awesome. I love your book. I can't wait to get a copy of it in my hands and see how I can use that with clients. I've been using Profit First in my business for 5 years. It's made a tremendous difference for me. Money really needs a home. If we can find a place to put it and stash it, we always have it for later. I've been seeing really powerful transformations by taking all of the different pieces, Profit First, tax planning, and financial planning together. We save money with taxes, we save money with Profit First, and we're able to put that money to work for our business owners so that they can do the things that they want to do with their families and with their business, whether that's growth and in new equipment or new employees or just building up their rental properties on the side to kind of carry their life. So I'm really excited to kind of see how this pans out for you guys.
Thank you so much for being here, Linda. And one of the things I have to share about Linda is, she's a CPA, she's a certified financial advisor, but every time I have a conversation with her, not only do I learn something really impactful, but she talks to me like I can understand it. I'm not a CPA, I'm not a certified financial planner. I never walk away from a conversation with Linda saying, what did she say? It's just so clear. And she also shares some stories with me of how she helps family businesses that were really struggling, or they were getting ready to think about retiring like 5 years out. And I think she's working on a project right now that really addresses that. So Linda, when you first start working with a client that has never done Profit First and you start implementing Profit First, what are some of the transformations you see?
The first thing that we usually try to put in place is that profit and tax account. In other words, Profit First Lite. And having a tax account where we fully fund their tax liability because it's going to come out of their money anyway. And then we have some small profit account that's there. The first time they can write their estimated tax payments out of real money that's not coming out of their personal budget, you should see their faces. They're just so happy that they're not paying it out of the grocery money or borrowing it from the kids' college fund. They just have it set aside. That small piece has made a huge difference. And I had always done a little bit of an escrow account, but then you combine it with a profit account and they've got dollars that they can use for special projects, vacations, all of those nice things that make running a business worthwhile, having a little bit of extra money to do things for your family. Those are really cool things to have happen.
Yeah, it's awesome to have that tax money. Type in the chat if you've ever got to the end of a quarter, the end of the year, and your accountant has said, hey, by the way, you owe X amount of money. And you're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, no, this is your net income. And you're like, what net income? Where's that money? I had a situation one year, I had a bigger profit than I ever did. And I had to pay $40,000 in taxes that I didn't have saved up. And if I had Profit First, I would have had that money ready. But every quarter was like a struggle. And I would get really upset about having to send that amount of money in to the government. And now I'm using Profit First, right? It just automatically goes in every deposit, or every 2 weeks it gets put in the right accounts, and it just takes all that stress out. So, once you get past that stress, what do you think it enables the business owner to focus on when they're not worrying about the taxes and getting by every day?
They can focus on growing their business. They now have a little bit of financial stability. It's not like somebody's going to come pull the rug out from under them over and over again. And they can start planning ahead. They can think about a new hire. We set up bank accounts for new hires. We set up bank accounts for new equipment. They can think about all of those things, and they start to get more comfortable looking at their numbers and figuring out how to grow their business. And they're not always in survival mode. They're not trying to figure out where the next dollar is coming from. It's already over here. We put it in that bank account and we have it for later. So we're set. Yeah. The peace, financial peace.
Financial peace.
Financial peace. Yes.
So I heard from other Profit First professionals, and I think I've heard the same story from you. When the guys aren't doing Profit First, it's almost impossible to get the owner to a meeting to talk about their finances.
Mm-hmm.
Then because either they don't understand it, or it's really ugly, or it's uncomfortable. But once they start doing Profit First, they start calling you up to schedule these meetings.
Yeah, money's happy instead of money being every meeting they come in, they have to pay money because they've got a tax bill or they've got a retirement plan to fund. And now all of a sudden they have the money and they don't know what to do with it. So they want to come to you and see where they can put it to make the most impact, which is totally cool. That's such a flip. And, having them be excited about making money in their business instead of, oh crap, I made money, now I've got to pay taxes. It's an entire flip of their whole emotional mindset. It's totally cool.
Yeah, and I want to share too, it's, because Linda and I have been working together, and And I love to partner up with great, tax strategists in the Profit First community. And it is such a value. And I have seen this in, working with our clients, to have that partner and, be able to talk to them. And, we're really focused on their books and their monthly closes and all of that. And then, we talk about growth strategies, and then we're able to connect, with someone who is an expert in tax strategy, and our clients are able to leverage that, that advice and know how much they really need to pay in their liability throughout the year. And it allows us to adjust their percentages depending on what's going on in their business. And sometimes we have to up those percentages or bring them down, but it's really that partnership with a good, strong tax strategist who knows Profit First, who can advise properly, and we have that open line of communication with. So it's so valuable to have partners like Linda, to work with and be able to refer clients over to, because we know they're in really good hands.
And I have to say, I love working with Christine's clients because their books are cleaned. I don't have to try to figure out what's wrong in there and what's going to jump up to bite us later because we didn't get something done correctly. So it's really nice to be able to just look at something that I can work with and move my building blocks the way I want to without having to worry about what's going to fall out from the bottom. So you guys do a great job. Everybody's been great to work with. I love working with you guys.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So like Christine said, we're referring, and Christine is referring people to Linda. So imagine having, instead of just having a tax accountant that you visit once a year, you can have a professional to work with that is a CPA plus a Profit First professional plus a financial advisor. I mean, think about that knowledge in your corner instead of just going to your tax guy once a year and hoping things are right. And clean books are a big thing. We all know that having clean books lets us make the right decisions because we're getting the right information. So super, super important. So teamwork is really important, and we're all stronger together. And this is just a really perfect example of that.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate it. Well, Linda, is there anything else you want to share?
I just want to reiterate that the leverage of all the pieces together is really critical. Having Profit First, having good bookkeeping, having somebody with you throughout the year in all of those spaces is really phenomenal. We work really hard to stay in touch with our clients and see where they are on a tax basis throughout the year. That's become one of our goals, and it helps to have somebody like Christine doing the books behind that work so that we have really good numbers. And I'm excited to see where the consulting programs take you guys and how you can lift up the whole entire law industry and make everybody rolling green.
Well, Linda, thank you so much for attending the event and joining us on this awesome, exciting day with a book launch. And we're going to put your links in the chat on how to contact you. And we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, that was awesome. I've known Linda for a little over 4 years. And like I said, every time I talk to her, I learn something, and I just love it that I don't walk away feeling less or ignorant about a certain subject. I always walk away feeling that I understood it, but also feeling that she understood me and what I was asking her and really why I was asking her that. And she's such a great communicator. Just really, really powerful to find someone like that. All right, the next guest we have is Ron Shaharian. He is the co-founding member of Profit First Professionals with Mike Michalowicz. And Ron is the managing director. So he runs Profit First Professionals, the day-to-day stuff. Profit First Professionals is an international network of extraordinary accountants and bookkeepers and financial experts who are not only masters in their trade, but have vast amounts of skills and experience helping companies grow their bottom lines using the Profit First method. Profit First Professionals' mission is to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. Say that 3 times fast. So, Ron, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay.
We'll get his. Ron, you're muted. That's what everyone says to me half the time on Zoom. I'm always muted. We'll get Ron's voice up. So Ron has been working with Mike. They started this business like a lot of us did in a basement, or I started in my parents' garage, but they started this business in Mike's basement.
Can you guys hear me now?
Cool. Yes.
All right. So sorry about that. I had the wrong mic on, but thank you for the introduction. But more importantly, congratulations, guys. I am so excited for you. Not only, that you're writing the book and you're bringing it out there, but for all the good that you've been doing through this pandemic, helping lawn care businesses. I mean, it's been tough on everybody, and the work that you guys have been doing, not only implementing Profit First, but strategizing with them to help them run better businesses. So I'm excited to be here today, and just know that I'm wrapping my arms around you, giving you guys big hugs.
Thank you so much. Ron, you've been in this Profit First journey with Mike since the beginning. It's really, I go to ProfitCon every year, and I see all the people that are there. They're so excited, and it's about accounting and bookkeeping and managing money. But it's really about people. It's about Profit First Professionals are about the people they work with and helping their businesses and their lives. And I think that's why people are so excited to be there, and they're so happy to go there every year, travel halfway across the world just to be there with that energy. Can you just share how have you seen Profit First really impact people and businesses?
Oh, I see it every day. I'm living it. I'm living the dream because of Profit First, no doubt about it. I mean, it's been implemented in our startup since day one. And, I encourage all startups to do it as well. However, some of the beautiful things that I've seen our members architect the cash flow in the bank accounts to achieve some wants. I've seen single moms take months of maternity leave because of Profit First. I've seen businesses erase hundreds of thousands of debt. I've seen businesses erase hundreds of thousands of personal debt from illnesses and diseases. I've seen businesses survive and thrive through this pandemic by implementing Profit First. And so every day people are reaching out to myself and Mike and saying, oh, thank you guys, because this is the Rosetta Stone of communicating in between accounting speak and entrepreneur speak. Mike and I are not accountants or bookkeepers at all. That's what these guys do. That's what they're experts in. And so, yeah, our community is accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches, but it's all about helping you, the end users of Profit First, survive. And not only survive, but to thrive. Because it's not just about eliminating the pains, it's achieving the wants. And the businesses is the number one way how business owners can generate wealth. How they do that is by implementing Profit First and reframing their mindset. I don't know one person making $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, $2 million a year that isn't paying a boatload in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to pay these taxes because it's like reaching into our savings and paying it. It's my favorite account. And so, listen, if you're paying hundreds of thousands in taxes, badge of honor, bro, you're making a lot of money. So, you don't reframe that way. That's the game we play in. We're in this game together. They want their VIG. They want their money. Let's make it easy for us to give it to them. That's one of the things I love about Profit First. But I will say several single moms have leveraged Profit First to thrive during, in pre-pregnancy.
Wow, that's impactful. to take off that amount of time to be home with their child right after birth.
Absolutely. But done right, there's so much that Christine and Steve can do for the health of the businesses. I mean, the book is the tip of the iceberg, right? These guys are talking what's below the waterline. They're walking the talk. They're doing it right.
Absolutely. And Ron, I remember there was a story that you shared with me that you tried to give your landscaper the book and try to help them out, and they just had no interest in it. They kind of were struggling, kind of complained to you a little bit about it, and they still didn't reach out for help after that. This was like a few years ago.
It was actually in 2014 when Mike and I went live. I gave her a copy of Profit First in paperback. It was like probably an author's copy or something. I'm like, Adela, you got to read this. You got to read this. It's got to help. It's got to help, because she was struggling about various different things. The margins were small. I'm like, please, I'll be more than happy to work with you. More than happy to do it for gratis. You know, I don't want a tired landscaper. I don't want a landscaper chinsing out on the time it takes to cut my lawn because they want to save a few nickels here and there. I want them to be professionals. I want them to spend the extra time making my lawn look the way I want it to look. And I'll pay for that. But if people are so focused on just getting to the next lawn so they can pay the bill, man, it's going to be very, very tough. But she decided, and it's not uncommon when people first see the book or read it, there's a lot of judging the book by the cover without truly understanding the value and the benefits of it. Once we get through that, then it's talking about, making a change. And even positive change is difficult for people. That's why I have an accountability coach, working with a partner to ensure that you're going to do it, because I guarantee she's heard about Profit First numerous of times. And I guarantee that book is still sitting on her desk and she hasn't read it yet. There's a lot of that out there. A lot of people buy the book, read it, implement it. You get stuck, reach out to Christine and Steve. It's that simple. But you gotta, if you're sick and tired of doing the same thing over and over, sick and tired of making the same type of money over and over, this is your opportunity to change. Do it. Sorry, I'm getting a little jacked.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ron. I mean, it's really profit. Being able to embrace profit in your business is a mindset, and it's making that change and deciding you deserve it. As a business owner, and you don't have to wear that badge of honor of dragging yourself through the mud and working yourself, to death. Profit is something that you can have. You deserve it. You deserve to be the best paid employee in your company. And just implementing the Profit First system, that the day that you do it, you are starting down the road of profitability, and you're going to be even 1% or 2% or even hopefully 5% more profitable the next day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and you start small too. You got to build that Profit First muscle memory. But with profit, guys, you can pay down debt. You could celebrate the health of the company. You can open up a tithing account. You can be charitable. You could sponsor a little league softball team or soccer team. You can have your next name on a park bench. There's so much you can do with profit to help out. But if you don't have any of it, you can't do anything with it. And that's why I love that you guys had Linda on, because honestly, a great CPA can't help you if you're not profitable, if you're not making money. That's where you really rely on the expertise of somebody like Linda and other partners Christine has, that if you go into a CPA and they say, I can't do anything for you, and you're saying, hey, I hate paying taxes, so let me spend more, you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve out of your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's that partnership that really makes a difference, because, they're keeping an eye on their opportunities with tax strategies, and we're keeping the eye on, making sure their financials are dialed in properly, that they're completely clean. And we're focusing also on what's their next step. So
yeah, you're providing financial clarity. And so one of the first things that I've realized over the years, the first thing people realize when they're working with a Profit First professional is relief, right? Profit First professionals like you, Christine and Steve, are going to sit down and draw up a plan a plan on moving forward, not just waiting for financials to come a month later. But no, this is a front windshield approach to your cash flow management. So they have relief that they have a plan. The second emotion that everybody experiences is empowerment. Because sometimes this is the first time that a business owner is in charge and in control of their money, physically moving that money from one bank account to another account means you're in charge, that you're making it happen. That's empowerment. The third thing, okay, that most everybody I know experience Profit First, they're relieved, they're empowered. Now they're focused. They're focused on growing their business and providing and deliver great services and products.
Yep.
Very powerful.
Yeah, and Steve and I are, a product of that by implementing Profit First in our businesses. Here we are, the book is releasing today. We have the Green Profit Academy coming out to support the business. We really couldn't do that if we didn't have that focus that Ron is talking about by implementing Profit First and those strategies in our companies.
Yeah, it's going to be a way for a lot of the end users to, once they have that clarity and that focus, if you feel like your business is out of control, that you want to wrap your arms around it and figure it all out, now you're going to be able to, because you're paying yourself. Your expenses are in control. That you're going to be profitable. It's not going to happen overnight, but these guys are going to get you there. Once you get that going, man, it is so much fun. It really is.
It is a whole nother lifestyle when you're running a Profit First company than when you're running, I'm going to work hard and hope it works out for the best company. I did it for over 20 years. I worked really hard. In this industry, these guys work really hard. I'm going to get more customers. I'll add another crew, then everything will be all right. And that happens, and it's more headaches and more problems and no more money. So it's more customers. That's kind of the recipe. And then they just get burnt out and frustrated. And really it's about controlling your money, your profit, and your cash flow. So
yeah.
So we got some comments in here. Dave said he read the original, but has never implemented. He's gonna start implementing in 2022. And I have another comment from Steve. Now he can get a payroll check sometimes, and he owes back taxes. And I had another. Eric shared about his back taxes and how he had to take a loan out for it. So we've all experienced that. And if there's a tool and a path that can show us the way not to have to go through that, what an excellent thing to have.
Yeah. It's the world is no longer flat, as you guys know. And so, I encourage anybody, if they're shopping for an accountant or a bookkeeper, ask them, what is the cash flow methodology that you implement in your business that's going to ensure you're paying yourself, that the company has a war chest of cash for Uncle Sam, regardless of the liabilities, and there's a focus on profit? What is the system they use in their business? What is the system that they teach their customers or small business customers? If they say, well, you know what, Steve, it's kind of what you're going to do is you're going to sell, right? Then you take out your expenses and then you pay yourself with whatever is left over. That's what I do. Run for the hills.
Right. Get out of that office.
Yeah. Be like, no. Run for the hills, because that it's proven it doesn't work. Look at the statistics. 50% of startups fail. 50% of them don't make it to year 5, let alone year 10 or generational turnovers. And accountants, and landscaper owners, they're not dumb. They hustle. They grow businesses. They deliver. People pay them. They market. The entrepreneur is not stupid. The system has been flawed. Just that simple flip of the equation from sales minus expenses to profit to sales minus profit equal expenses. That's the game changer. And keep in mind that big P, that capital P, of course it's profit, but it's paying yourself. It's a security vault, 3 to 6 months of core capital. It's tithing, purpose, right? There's so much. that we can do to really help the businesses succeed the way they envision it.
Well, Ron, thank you very much for coming today. I really appreciate your input. Is there anything else you would like to share?
Yeah. Don't kick the can down the road. If you're hearing my voice, get your tukish off the couch, off of the chair, open those bank accounts, okay? And start small. Start 1%. Even if it's 1 or 2 accounts, just do it. Just take that first step and do it.
That's awesome advice. Caleb he posted, I'm doing my accounts this way next year. So we got one big buy-in. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. I say don't wait. Do it now.
Don't wait. Yeah, do it this year.
Yeah.
There's still some weeks left. Get going.
And if you
he's a hard worker guy, he'll get it done.
keep
Awesome.
in mind also, guys, that Profit First is so conceptually simple, right? However, the devils are in the details. So my advice is always to work with a credentialed Profit First professional, a Profit First mastery level professional like these guys, and you're going to be set. Thank you so much, guys, for writing this book. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing here. And thank you for having me as a guest on this. I'm really excited for you guys.
Thank you so much, Ron, for sharing this exciting launch day. All right. So Ron was excellent. I mean, I love the story of him and Mike McCallowitz starting that business in Mike's basement. And, like all of us, bootstrapping and then building a business that really impacts a lot of people. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to play a video. Mike McCallowitz could not be here today. He is going on a trip to Hawaii. I could not stop him from going. He refused to stay in the chilly, New Jersey. So he is not going to be available today, but he did make us a nice video. And Jade is going to bring that up. And while that is going to be prepared to bring up, I'm just going to share my story. For people who hopped on late, my name is Steve Bousquet. I own American Landscape and Lawn Science in Connecticut. Next year will be our 40th year in business. For really a long time in my business, I worked so hard. I thought knowing what trucks to buy and what soils to use and fertilizers and seed and equipment to buy was going to make me a successful landscape company. I didn't understand the numbers. I didn't focus on them. And that got me into really deep financial trouble. I was 37 years old. I was $250,000 in debt, and not even equipment debt. That was unleveraged, not trucks, not mowers, not skid steers. That was just borrowed money because I had been growing my company so fast. When you buy the book, you read my story. I got to the point where I had watched the show about these people hiding out in Alaska. And I was like, that's the answer. And I went to go tell my wife that we were going to be leaving Connecticut with our 2 small kids and moving to Alaska. And I walked up to her and I didn't have the nerve to tell her. So I did work with a consultant who is a triage consultant. Like he's a good consultant. He helps businesses that are really struggling. And he got me back on my feet. But for 10 years, I kind of skimmed along with low percentage of profits. And then in 2011, I read Greg Crabtree's Simple Numbers, Big Profits book. And you can literally see in my profitability in my company when I read that book. But it was really hard to implement it in its entirety. And then when I read Profit First, I could start implementing it as best as I could do. And I did the best I could do with Profit First on my own. But then when I hired a Profit First professional and really got the numbers dialed in, it changed. My business became even more profitable, and it needed me less to make more profit because we had the systems and the tools. So that is kind of my story. Christine is my Profit First professional, and I really, after working with her, I encouraged her to write this book. When she brought it up, and I said, "Oh, absolutely, you're the person to write it." And I knew how much impact it was going to have on the people who read it in the industry. And like I said, I'm doing this because I know how hard everybody works in this industry. and they need to just see a little more financial reward and less stress. So that's my short story. There's some guys that are in the book also, and their stories have been shared. They're really meaningful. Christine, do you just want to say a little something about the stories and the guys in the book?
Yes, I had a pleasure with working with all of them, and really appreciate how much they trusted me to provide support and, advisement in their business. And all of them had different struggles. They had different challenges, and each one of their businesses, it's located in a different part of the U.S. Their businesses are not alike, they're their own individual businesses, and each one of them have something special about their business that really needs to be looked at a different way. And these guys helped me learn more about the challenges in the industry and inspired me to create some of the tools that I did, and really look at things, differently when it comes to this industry and the way that they need, to be supported. And everyone is different. They learn differently, they connect differently, and, they just had these different challenges that I really wanted to rise to the occasion and solve and support them in any way that I could. I didn't want to see them experience, any pain anymore in their business with financials or not understanding the numbers or even tax burden. I didn't want to see that either. So any solution that I could try to find, I did and went down that path and worked with each one of them and learned something from each one of them as well, which was, I so appreciate how open they were with me in sharing their challenges and their journey. And it just really helped me, learn and grow as well.
Yeah, definitely. Their journeys are awesome to hear about, and because there's no easy button in this business, and they work their way through it. So right now we're going to roll the Mike Michalowicz video, and then we're going to go on to some interviews with the guys in the book.
Christine Era's brand new book, Profit First for Lawn Care and Landscape Business Owners, is being released now. I am so excited to share this with you. My name is Mike Michalowicz. I am the author of Profit First. And when Christine approached me saying there was an industry in need, it was so obvious she was the one to write it. She serves the landscape and lawn care community and knows how to make your business permanently profitable. In fact, it's such a common struggle that lawn care and landscape professionals are surviving check by check, living day by day. She's modified the essential Profit First system to speak specifically to the needs of this market. You have equipment needs, you have wear and tear on the equipment that you use. You have sometimes a transient workforce, sometimes part-time labor. You have specific needs that you have in the labor market. And all those things can be addressed profitably if you read this book. I invite you right now to get your copy of Profit First for Lawn Care and Landscape Business Owners. It will change your life.
Thank you, Mike, for making that video. And I hope you really enjoy how hot it is in Hawaii. The next person I'm going to bring up on screen is a really close friend of mine. He's one of my favorite people. His name is Don Zerbe. And we would have long conversations about accounting and financial stuff, and neither one of us could ever answer. Looking online for it and asking the wrong people, and we just struggled for a number of years. We had the question, but we didn't know who had the answers. And so I introduced Don to Christine, and they started working together. I want to just do Don's bio. Don Zerbe is a lifelong learner and has been in business for over 40 years. His business is Eco-Lawn in East Lake, Ohio. Don leads a team of 13 A players. You're not working for Don if you're not an A player. Don is a team captain at the National Association of the Landscape Professional Renewal and Remembrance Program, at the Arlington National Cemetery, which is a great program. People from guys in the green industry from all over the country come together and do that program in July, upgrading and improving Arlington Cemetery for our veterans. Don also has 2 English bulldogs, Mac and Macy. I love Don's company's jingle or logo or motto. It is a lawn. Don's company promises you a lawn so soft you'll want to wiggle your toes in it. And he is a master marketer and branding. In that Mentor, Eastlake, Ohio, you cannot miss Don's trucks with the giant worm on it, and how many lawn signs he must have on some of these streets he treats. So Don, I want to welcome you and thank you for celebrating this day with us.
Thank you so much, Steve, and first and foremost, congratulations to both you and Christine on this project. I'm so proud of you. Thrilled to be part of it. Thank you very much for that.
So, Don, my question is, why did you start working with Christine? Where were you at when that happened in your business?
Wow. I was trying to build a budget, and every time I did it, the spreadsheet ended up being 3 feet wide and 4 feet long, and you just couldn't even read it. And I thought, there has to be a better way. I had looked, and man, I just was struggling so hard. And then I met Christine, and I immediately was pleased with her structured thought process. She listened. I mean, she really listened. She asked questions, and like a lot of us, I thought that I already had all the answers. And as it turns out, I didn't even know what the questions were. You know, I started my business when I was a kid. And the reason I started it was because my mom couldn't pay the electric bill. And as it grew, I thought, like you mentioned earlier, Steve, that if we knew how to make grass green or which side of the bushes to plant right side up, that people would beat a path to our door. I remember learning how it didn't work that way. And a profound lesson was a woman from the IRS showed up in my driveway and said, since you didn't pay your 941s, we're imposing a 100% penalty. I don't know how much money that was. It was a lot of money. There was no bank that was going to give me that much money. We paid her weekly, and in the end, I remember selling a truck, and I think the truck sold for like $12,000, and they took the money to this big building downtown Cleveland and found that lady and handed it to her, and she came out of the back room with a receipt showing a zero balance. I don't think the IRS is in the business of doing favors, but I'm sure she did something that day. I promised myself after that I would never allow myself, my fate, my family's fate, to be controlled by somebody else ever again. It wasn't long after that I found Christine, and when you, Christine, and you, Steve, started talking about partnering, I got so excited that Christine's structured personality combined with Steve's creative nature was going to produce a teaching, an avenue, a way for so many people, if they'll listen, to protect themselves, and maybe more importantly, their families, the innocent victims, from going through some of the silly mistakes that I made over a long time. So So that's what I'm excited about. You guys and the team that you've put together are the best qualified of all the people that I could imagine to provide this curriculum to those that want it. It's a lifelong dream for me. So when I say thank you, I mean it from there.
And Don, I have to say, you were just a pleasure to work with, and was never afraid to present me with a challenge. So, it's whenever there was something that you brought to the table and I presented a solution, you checked it, and then you checked it twice, and you checked it one more time. So, we made sure in working with Don that the tools that we were building and, the methodologies in this industry, were completely solid. So I appreciate the challenge.
You took what people say, oh boy, in the green industry. So you guys are landscape. So you sit on lawn chairs and drink beer all winter, huh? So Christine took that, identified the difference in the business models in Northeastern Connecticut. Steve's company plows snow and they build patios and do hardscape work. In Cleveland, Ohio, we shut down. In the South, in the wintertime. In the South, companies continue working all year round, and in the Southwest, it's different yet. Christine is the only one that I found that stopped and listened so that she understood the difference in these business models, the complete opposite of sitting on a lawn chair and drinking beer. And then with Steve's help, put together curriculum that'll identify kind of a multi-tiered track for these guys to grow their businesses. After all this time of being the answer guy, I have to admit, I wasn't always ready to hear Christine's answers. And she threatened me with a wet noodle lashing one time. And by golly, when she said that, I thought, man, she's not kidding. And I'm going to follow those directions. But so I needed my hand held in implementing the Profit First process. And in just a few minutes before this meeting, I did the allocations and then the winter allocations. And man, I don't have to worry that in the next 3 months of not producing one dime of income, that all of our overhead, our payroll will be met. I'll do it without touching a single penny of prepaid dollars, which come in this business. There's sufficient cash to address economic anomalies that some people may be seeing right now without fear. I get to sleep at night. So, guys, thank you so much for this.
Thank you for sharing that, Don. I don't know, it can't just be in the lawn care and landscape business, but when you're a business owner, you think you're the only one that is struggling. You feel like everybody else has the answer but you. And so you just work longer hours and take more risk and put your family at risk. But really, almost all small businesses are struggling, and especially in the lawn care and landscape industry. And there's lots of people out in the lawn care and landscape industry that are full of advice without ever listening to the person, the guy who needs the help. They're just broad brushing stuff. So Christine developing the business models based on where you're located in the country, and then your service mix, whether you're a one-trick pony offering like just irrigation or just lawn applications, or a three-ring circus like my business is where we do everything. It's such a unique approach, not only in the green industry, but in all business books, to really dial in and focus and pay attention to where you are in the country and what your business is about. And, thank you for acknowledging that and recognizing that, Don, because it's just such a unique thing. Don, I've known you for so long. We've kind of like our second grow up kind of was our maturity, I'll say, was together over the past 15 years. How has your life really been impacted and changed since you started becoming more aware of the finances and implementing Profit First?
So I know what a balance sheet is now. I know where my gross profit margin should be. We've implemented KPIs, and this is an ongoing process. I have employees that I don't have to spend the entire weekend wondering whether they're going to show up on Monday. In fact, I don't think about it at all, except in some supportive manner. Halfway through this past summer, we bought a camper and then spent 3 weeks in Long Island with my stepdaughter as she bought a new house. And you know what's cool about that? It's not like we were on the beach drinking drinks with stuff in, umbrellas in them. But while I was gone, completely absent from my company, there was a little army worm that decided to hop on the jet stream and come up here to Cleveland, Ohio, and take out some 800 of my 2,700 lawns. And my team planned and executed a solution to that problem entirely in my absence. So what I'm learning is how to create a business that's not dependent on me taking every action in it, making every decision. When you do that, you're enabling your people not to perform or remain dependent on you. So creating a sustainable business with a vault is critical. I mean, again, it makes it so I could sleep at night. And,
Sleep is important. Sleep is important. Don, if there's one thing you would like to kind of share with us, is there one thing you would like to kind of share that I didn't ask?
So I think if you're going to do this, maybe for the students out there, take it seriously. Let Christine and Steve hold your hand. Embrace Green Profit Academy. I'm thrilled about the book. In fact, I've already ordered a whole bunch, and I'm going to share them with everyone I know. And Green Profit Academy is the hand-holding. It's the accountability arm of this book, and I can't think of two better people. So if you're going to be in business, you better be the best at what you do from a craft standpoint. And by golly, for the sake of your spouses and children and your employees, let professionals help you to administer it. And Profit First is the bomb.
Don, thank you so much for joining us today. The chats are, hey, I didn't know Don was such a likable guy. I think people you're so serious because you take your business and your and what you do so serious. People said thank you for sharing the story. Thank you for sharing such a personal story. And Don, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story and celebrating the book launch with us.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Don.
The next person we're going to bring up is Bobby Thrasher from Thrasher Landscape. And Bobby's a great guy, young guy, lots of energy. He's always got some funny thing to say that actually is enjoyable. He is a lighthearted guy. And so Bobby Thrasher started his business. He's from Bloomington, Indiana. And Bobby, he started his business when he was a teenager mowing lawns. And from humble beginnings, just one guy, Thrasher Landscape has emerged as being one of the best landscape maintenance companies in Bloomington, Indiana. And he from that one guy has now boomed into a well-recognized landscape company. Bobby Thrasher has been offering lawn services since he was 16. I know he looks 18 now, but he's much older than that. And he leads a team of over 15 people. And he's another person that's always encouraging his people to learn and grow and improve. And Bobby, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, Bobby, you also were kind of like me. You thought, if you had the right equipment, knew the right bobcat to get and mower to get, and you kind of knew your numbers, everything was going to be okay. But it was kind of a point where you said, "Hey, I need something else." Where were you? What was your mindset before you started working with Christine?
Kind of like what you and Don said too, is like, I was like a paver expert. I knew all about pavers and specs and all that stuff. And once I kind of realized I wasn't making no more revenue with that, and my cash wasn't any better, I knew something else was definitely off. And how I got introduced to Christine, it was actually, you talked about it a little bit, and then Don talked a little bit about it. And then I got the number from one of you guys. I can't remember. It's been a handful of years ago. And then I gave Christine a call like on a Friday afternoon and so forth. And kind of got started that way.
And Christine, do you want to share a little bit about your working with Bobby?
Yeah, so we started and, instantly right after we started implementing Profit First, his business was impacted by, one of the seasonal impacts that can happen in this industry. And, the snow that he was looking to fall that year did not fall. And it had a huge impact, on his revenue and his business. And it wasn't something he was planning for. So, really implementing Profit First at that point in time, it was the right time. And, he was very stressed out and, worried about what he was going to do. And we made some adjustments and made some pivots, there with the Profit First implementation. And I think that's probably where I might have won him over at that point, and
Right.
his stressful time was, looking at the system and going, well, what can we do with this? And what changes can we make, and supporting him through that. And the other thing I have to say, which is a perfect example, is Bobby has a really great office manager who helped him implement this system. So, going in it together, and this is something I always encourage, is don't go at it alone. Have an internal support system as well. And he really let go and let her take things over and just trusted her in implementing the system too, which I think is a really, important point. And so that was a relief too, to know he had somebody that he could depend on and that he trusted to implement the system in his business just as he was doing.
Yeah, most definitely. The office manager really implemented it and got it going. She's definitely the integrator, I guess you would say, on that. I would, get it going and start and then stop and everything. But, she definitely, and Christine working with her, has kind of stayed back and kind of got caught up more or less. And then Christine definitely was right. The business was growing. That was kind of climbing as well too. But the cash flow through the winter, we need snow for cash flow. We ran out of cash. We just ran out of jobs, and you're kind of like, and we just needed some cash. It's basically all it boiled down to. We had no cash, and then the stress and and everything that comes along with that, and we didn't have any. We get no action plan for like the down season, and now one of our accounts is like a 4-month down season, and so we have allocations with that. At first that bucket is very small, but that bucket got bigger and it's got deeper and deeper and so forth, and it's amazing what that has done for the business and stress and peace of mind, and it's just big game changer.
And Bobby has a wife and two boys, and I'm a dad. I had 2 kids when I was his age, and boy, when you don't have cash, it's running in your head. that goes home with you. And, you know, it doesn't really allow you to be the best husband, the best dad you
No.
can be. So when you're implementing Profit First, you really feel the changes. Now, what's your bank account look like going into this winter, Bobby?
Fat and happy. I mean, we're off, you know, we're 2 years off. So we signed up with Christine for like a 2-year program. You know, and I was really excited about it too, because I got some great advice from my mentors and so forth. And there is a small fee along with it, but you pay once for it. And I was like 34, 35. So I figure I got another 30 years to recover. So I'm good, you know, and so definitely made no money over on that. But we've had great years and our buckets got full. And as the business kind of grew and evolved, we just had good cash flow and the taxes and so forth. But the last few years we've been, I started 4 years ago is what I'm thinking, maybe 2017 with Christine. And here we are now. It takes a few years to kind of get everything kind of going, but we're in great shape. I mean, it's in the you know, at home it's better, and you're all right. It does carry on in your life, your personal life, the way you behave, this whole thing. Definitely more of a happier person, just because, you know, you have different accounts and we made some emotional decisions and things are just healthier. So
That's awesome.
And one of the things I'd like to acknowledge too, which I loved, you know, whenever we do a quarterly review and we talk about the profit distribution, at one point I asked Bobby, what are you going to do, you know, to celebrate with your profit distribution this quarter? And he said, I'm taking time off and I'm taking my boys on a trip.
yeah,
And I don't remember if it was hunting or fishing, but you had, you know, set up a nice amount of time to take some time away from your business and spend with your kids.
yes, that was the award. You know, it was more about emotional than it was financial, I guess you would say. You know, like the financial kind of got covered and it made it nice.
Yeah, and those moments are priceless, really.
Yeah, can't get them back.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're in business for, right?
It is.
So,
Well, yeah.
Bobby, thank you. Before you go, is there anything you would like to share?
I kind of got in a little bit earlier on, but you kind of hit it as well. I think the guy name was Ron. Is like, you know, starting now, like I kind of kicked the can down the road too darn long. You know, I could have been another year ahead. Don't do what I did. Just hop into it now. It's very exciting. It does work. It's a little bit painful at first, but I tell you what, if you do the reps, I mean, the muscle will come, and it's freaking awesome. So, congratulations on both of you guys, and appreciate all your you know, friendship, mentorship, work, and leadership abilities for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us, Bobby. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so that was a great share. You know, spending time with his two boys, fishing or hunting. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. Just that time is so precious. So the next guest we're going to bring on is Sid Sexton. Sid Sexton owns Sexton Landscape down in Daphne, Alabama, which is a very nice area. And Sid Sexton started Sexton's Lawn and Landscape in 2004 and now leads a team of over 50. He is considered a thought leader amongst his peers. Sid's mission is to provide tremendous value to his clients as well as an extraordinary opportunity for his team members. And he walks the talk. That is not just something written on a page. He lives it every day. And he believes those two go hand in hand. Sid is a certified Alabama landscape professional. He's also a partner in RX Sport Fit cross training. He is also the co-host on the Overlap podcast, where he and his partner Keith Kleins talk about the overlap of business, fitness, and family. Sid is one of the individuals that if I'm ever driving with him, 3 hours seems like about 15 minutes. And we literally tape our conversations because they're so enlightening and we're great questions askers. And there's always some profound, we don't know which hour it's going to come in, but there's going to be a profound statement or profound question somewhere in that. So welcome today, Sid. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to make sure that I can hear you clearly. I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, but I believe that's on my end, not on yours. I think I got about half of your intro there, and if the other half that I didn't listen to or didn't get a chance to hear, most of those are lies. I'm not that special. And really, if there's anything profound being said, it's definitely by Steve. So there you go.
Well, you're too kind. Sid, so thank you for being here today, celebrating the launch of Profit First for Lawn Care Landscape Businesses. You're in the book. You kind of were one of the business models that we kind of focused on, that all year round business model, but also has the impact, that seasonal impact of hurricanes and floods. So, a whole different challenge. It sounds easier down in the, Gulf Coast. Everything is, beautiful every day. And then, bam, 20 inches of rain over like 2 days, and the water's flooded and trees are down everywhere. It's just a whole different management. So I give you kudos for managing that. When I first was talking about Profit First with you, you kind of were doing your own version of Profit First. And I want you to share with what was the difference when you were implementing your own version of Profit First, and then when you worked with Christine and implemented the Profit First system fully.
That's a good question. I guess to answer that question, the best thing for me to do is to sort of go back and really, I read the original book and on your recommendation, Steve, thank you. And probably one of those conversations that something pointed came out of. And I started to self-implement Profit First, and I was probably doing that for 3 years. And here was the deal. This is my progression, is that year one and probably year two, I was very happy with the results I was getting by self-implementing the ideas in Profit First, right? And then by year three, my business was growing, my business intellect was growing, and then my desire to probably maximize or get more out of those systems started to outgrow my ability to do it myself and with my staff. And so I was having, some conversations with Steve, like I do fairly often. And he did highly recommend Christine and anyone that knows Steve in his Steve way. He was like, I think you might want to, have you ever thought about, and kind of tried to make it seem like it was my idea to call Christine, but I knew what he was doing. So that's what it was like, and what led me to contact Christine. And what it's like now is probably, if you're going to go through any sort of growth, it just becomes uncomfortable. And so it was like another phase of discomfort, because there was lots more numbers, there were lots more hoops to sort of jump through. But that actually happened to be, and this is another conversation that Steve and I had, was that now you're actually probably having the correct allocations in the correct categories. It just felt like a setback, but it turns out on the other side, it's the end of the year for us too. And I think I heard Don Zerby talking about it. I mean, I think almost every category, and Christine and I talked, did we talk earlier this week, or was it the end of the week last week?
Just last week. Yeah.
It's kind of Christmas time and there's a party every night or something like that. They're all like blurring together. But most of those categories are fully funded for us, and that was not the case just 12 months ago. And so, and yeah, it's been a good year, and the economy's great, but we've been able to cash in, for a lack of a better term, on the good economy and build those categories, and that really has a lot to do with our work with Christine. I hope that.
Yeah, in your accounts too, Sid, it's not just, they're being funded, they're, heading towards that overfunding,
yeah,
which is a huge win, because it's not just 2 weeks, it's a month to 2 months in your accounts that you're building those cushions.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. I mean, now we've got really good problems. What are we going to do with all this extra money? You know, I'm okay with that. Thank you for that. Trading problems.
So that's funny to say extra money, but so now if you need equipment, you're buying it because you actually need it. If you want to expand your business, that's what that money is for, that profit. So instead of going into debt, you use the profit to expand and grow, instead of having that note where you're always owing the bank or whoever the debtor be. It's just, what a wonderful place to be, where you're growing your business out of your profits and lining all that up correctly. Yeah, Sid and I would have questions, would have discussions. You'd have questions, I couldn't, about Profit First, and I just couldn't answer it because they were pretty in-depth questions, and I knew Christine was the right person for that, and working together. And he also has a really good bookkeeper, super smart. So I have to give her some kudos too.
Totally.
And I think the bookkeeper works closely with Christine, because again, sometimes the business owners are just not the best conduit to get that information back and forth. So, Sid, is there anything you would like to share that I haven't asked about?
I think I've always got something to share. Don't leave the floor open for me, because I don't know what the time frames are here, but I'll be as quick and succinct as I can be. In that, I heard Don talking about, I think you asked a pretty good question, and I'll paraphrase, but what's it like now that you've got, your funds in the right place? And I'll say, for me, it's significantly freeing. I live an absolutely better life because I've become, with Christine's help, with Steve's help, I've become much more disciplined in how we allocate our money, which sort of filters down. It's almost crazy. Like, that is almost like step one if you want to get your business on the right track. And so once those dollars get in place and you really start feeling comfortable with how that's all working through your business, the confidence with that really leads to confidence in making better decisions throughout the rest of your business. Dealing with, we don't use employees, the word employees, but team members is what we use, or dealing with customers and difficult customers, and then really having the confidence to identify who the ideal customers are and go with them. And then I would take it one step further from that. And golly, here's a shameless plug for the Overlap podcast, is that the overlap is that I really live a better life outside of work, because I'm not stressed all the time. And how I interact with my loved ones, which used to be sort of the brunt of my frustration and my anxiety, because they're the ones that are around and they just don't understand the struggle that I'm going through and all that crap. I finally became, a big boy business owner and started to handle it. And now our relationships are fantastic. I'm less apt to react snappy towards them, and I'm much more loving, I'm much more caring, and I've got much more time to give them. And so to say that Profit First and the work with Christine and Steve has been life-changing is almost sounds like an understatement, and that sounds big, and it sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. And if you're struggling with your business, man, I would just highly suggest that you get working on getting the foundational principles in place. And I think it starts with money, because that's what in numbers, because that's the language of business. So I hope that didn't go too long.
Perfect. Nope, it was absolutely perfect. One of the things I want to share, if you don't know Sid and you're just an outside guy looking at his business, you're thinking this guy has it all figured out. Work with Profit First. People look at my business and they say, this guy's got it figured out, or Don, or John, or Bobby. And we never feel like we have it figured out. We always are in learner mode and in what's next. How do I improve? So this is Green Profit Academy is set up for that guy. If it's not set up for the guy who's perfect and knows it all, and it is not for that guy, is the guy that's really looking to make an impact throughout his entire life, family, friends, business, quality of life. and you got to be a learner like these guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate you celebrating our book launch event, and we'll talk soon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Sid.
Well, just really outstanding. These guys are sharing so much. And my next guest is John Quast, someone I've known for a long time, a really serious guy, but also an incredible sense of humor, a really strong business acumen, another great marketing guy. You can't miss his trucks in his market. Just that bright green that he has. John has been in business for over 30 years. He leads a team of 20. He moved to Colorado from Michigan to support his wife's medical career path. He loves watching his son play baseball and his daughter volleyball when they were younger. He started out as a lawn care technician for a local company way back in the day. And shortly after that, he founded Mesa Turf Masters. That was 30 years ago. He's always been on the leading edge of plant health care and with customer service, going from a single employee to a fleet of bright green trucks that you cannot miss. John has always been right there alongside his team, working every day to grow Mesa Turf Masters. John, welcome. Thank you so much for celebrating this day with us.
Hello, and congratulations to both of you on the book launch and your new endeavor. I'm not sure why I'm here because I have not implemented Profit First, although it's been on my bucket list for a bit now. But anyway, I'm here to help if I can.
So you have not implemented Profit First, but you have worked with Christine on pumpkin planting.
Yes.
The reason that we wanted you here was because you worked with Christine, and you initially thought, I don't need to implement Profit First. But I'm hearing now, after you read the book, now you're thinking it's kind of important to implement Profit First.
I've always been pretty good with the money and the numbers side of the business, and I would put money into a different account, but it was not strategic or thought out. It was, hey, there's too much prepay in my main account, let's move it over. It's worked okay with me, but again, not strategic. And as I want to put systems in place for better control and live a less business active life, I find it as, I'm sure it'll be great tools for me, but these are tools that you can pass on. I mean, I kind of learned some of the money part of it after 30. Well, I didn't make any money for 15, but the last 15 years you kind of figured out it's not strategic, it's not planned, and therefore it's not easy to have somebody else duplicate for you if that need should arise, I guess. So I guess that's the pain. And again, it's been on my bucket list, but I'm always the slow guy to the dance. I got to qualify and re-qualify and extra qualify, and then figure out enough time, and then, hey, maybe we'll go down that road. So that's just kind of my personality on some of these things, I guess. But I love the books. Makes a lot of sense. Slow to implement would be my motto, I guess. My failing, I should say.
So you're looking to possibly implement Profit First, so you don't have to be there making all the financial decisions. You can give your team a tool where they can implement Profit First. The allocations every time a deposit comes in.
Yeah, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to do it. I'm pretty much committed to that 6 months ago, but I think that as you have a management staff and you want them to have a better understanding of the business as a whole, so they can make better decisions as a whole. I look at this as just another tool in the toolbox that helps not only me, my company, but even probably more importantly, the management team to help them more understand the full scope of it. They're good in their individual areas of expertise, whether that be productions or sales or what have you. but they know probably not anywhere near enough about the numbers and that sort of structure, if you will, behind their job. So I kind of look at it as more, yes, it'll be wonderful for me personally and for my business, but I think the ancillary benefit there is the investment in the team and what that'll allow the team to do, for you moving forward, whatever life brings, whatever route you go down, it'll be better and the company will be stronger, and more diversified as a result. So I guess that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Absolutely.
So, John, we implemented the pumpkin plan in your business, and that's what we worked on together. And I do talk about pumpkin planning in the book. And, I feel it is a very strong partner, for Profit First and the methodologies there. Would you like to share anything on what you got out of the pumpkin plan, what maybe you wanted to accomplish in the beginning and where you ended up in the end?
Sure. So again, I, like Sid, will take as much air in the room as there is. So cut me off at the appropriate time. I kind of, I was sitting on the beach drinking margaritas, speaking with Mr. Bousquet, I was complaining I was looking for more help, looking for more coaching, and everything was kind of East Coast driven, and I'm in Mountain Time. I'm going, I can't even figure out the time schedule. And I'd love to have somebody closer to me. And Steve goes, well, I know somebody in Colorado. I'm going, okay, so that perked my interest, and that's kind of how, and plus I, value Steve's advice and input. But I think if I remember when we started a couple of years ago, one of the first conversations is, what do you want to work on? I'm going, God, I don't know. You're the coach, tell me what I'm supposed to work on. And so we started with some basic stuff. And again, it wasn't numbers driven. It was more connecting with the staff and being able to be more supportive of the staff. And how do you measure some of those things? And, I thought pumpkin planning, and if you've done Profit First and not pumpkin plan, I would encourage you to look at, pumpkin plan. Again, it's another tool. But you go through your vision story and what your goals are, and it forces you to think more outside the box. I think we're all good at our craft and understand our craft. And as a business owner, I'm not accountable to a whole lot of people. I mean, yes, my staff and my family and things of that nature, and some of my friends, but there's not a lot of people holding my feet to the fire if I don't want it to happen. So just the coaching relationship and the accountability with that process, was good. And it made me think in terms that are not comfortable for me, that are, more soft skills and things of those natures. It helps you look at you cannot be profitable if you're going to work with a bunch of bottom feeders and be the low cost provider. That is not going to lead to profitability and wealth. And so one of the exercises I enjoyed, although it was painful and difficult, was, the wish list customers and how do you get more of your best customers, and we implemented that pretty much right away. And it's showing, and again, it works. It's not rocket science, but it works. There's the section about, if you're, trimming and things of that nature. And I looked at it as hey, get rid of the low customers, the people that don't buy extra services. And then by coincidence, I have a secondary market in a mountain community that was 5 months a year. So it's highly profitable with 5 months, but as we know, expenses go 12 months. And as it turns out, it wasn't strategic by me, but as it turns out that I wound up selling that business. So that was 33% of my revenue. That was a big chunk and a little bit of uncertainty and a lot of, not worrisome nights, but how is it going to look at the back end? So that was a trim I never really intended on making, and it happened, and I'm happy it happened for a number of reasons. But what it allowed me to do is concentrate on just Grand Junction, which really kind of magnified the growth and the kind of process we're making in this particular location. So again, it wasn't strategic, but again, these are things that in pumpkin planting that you talk about and learn, you know, but the process is good, and all the things are things that you can do in your personal life and in your home life. And you know, I think you have to have. I think you need to continue to educate yourself and grow. Because as I told Christine, my business model is growth and opportunity. And if not, you're growing, you're dying. You know, and that's kind of how I view most of business. And you need help to get there. It was a great experience. I'm sure Profit for First will be just as wonderful. I'm looking to get started with that. But pumpkin planting was very valuable to me, and we're a better company because of it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Sure.
It was a real pleasure working with you and even, helping connect with the team as well.
It was great for me and extremely rewarding. So I'm exceedingly happy about your book and your, the road you're going down with that. And I think if you can spread that information, that knowledge to a greater number of people, there's just benefit. I think there's some pain in it because it's hard work, but the end result is worth the uncomfort. Let's put it that way.
That is true. There's some pain in it, but it's definitely worth it. It's worth going through it. Yeah. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for sharing and sharing this event with us. And I'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you.
John.
So, wow. I mean, what a share from these guys. The struggle is real, and you just have to keep moving forward. And but you want to find the tools and the partners and people to help you make it through that. So we're coming near to the end, and we're just going to kind of go over just a quick summary of the interviews. Just do you want to share a takeaway, Christine?
Oh, there's so many here. I think it's overwhelming, the amount that all of these guys shared on how much they have been helped by all of this, which was the whole idea. So that is just amazing to hear. And I'm excited that they're excited about the tools in the book and, what's next with Green Profit Academy. And it's great to know that, what has been put together and built is already being viewed as a value and has also, produced results, great results. So, I appreciate all of the support and, their willingness to share and their vulnerability, and sharing their challenges. Because I'm sure, just as we have had, there's other business owners out there that can really connect with this.
Absolutely. Yeah. We all think we're alone, and then we're all struggling in some way. It might be unique and different, but we're all struggling in some way. So I just want to go over where to buy the book. We'll put that link up in the chat again, and that's going to be the best place to buy the book to get your bonuses. We also just want to go over again Green Profit Academy with what we're offering. Christine, would you like to go over that one more time, just to kind of, for the people who might have joined late, what the offerings Green Profit Academy
Yeah,
has?
sure. Yeah. So in the Green Profit Academy, we've developed 3 Profit First webinars at different levels, from beginner, moderate to advanced. We have a coaching program that has, 6 different groups and levels. So as you go through them, you will graduate up and learn more and where you need to implement what in your business. And they have 3 different mastermind groups that support that, depending on what group you're in. So you can come together and learn from other peers that you're not connecting with, in your small group. And it also is there to help support your internal person who's helping you, right the ship on the bookkeeping side, on the office management side. So we want to educate them as well and present that opportunity for anybody to, you to bring these people in so they can support you and your business better. We have the Green Profit Toolbox that is free. It's, talked about in the book. There's some really great tools in there. And then we also have the Profit First Green Profit Toolbox membership. And this one, it has additional tools in it that's above and beyond the tools that we have in the book. There's online calculators. We're really trying to get you guys to connect with benchmarking and KPIs and really building that solid foundation. And that's what I feel, the Green Profit Toolbox membership really provides, and the community too. So we're going to be developing even more courses and workshops that will support this industry. And those will be coming soon within the next year, in between things that will support your bookkeepers, your internal office people, understanding really, how to do pricing and your markups and margins, connecting with those, find profit in other places in your business. So I look forward to bringing those to you guys as well.
And I know personally, those tools are going to be imperative going into 2022 because the supply chain is messed up. Prices are fluctuating all over the place all the time. And, we set our prices and all of a sudden there's a 30% increase, but I still need my 65% gross profit margin. What do I need to charge? And, you just can't be afraid of raising your prices because you have to recoup that money and still make a profit. But you have to know where you stand to begin with. And these calculators really help you figure that out really quickly. So they're just awesome. So what's next? If you want to work with Christine and I in the Green Profit Academy, I put a link to the Green Profit Academy in the chat, and you can just go through the website and see some of the offerings we have. And if you want to reach out to us, we're available. If you have any questions, we're available. So I want to thank our guests for joining us today. I want to thank our launch team. I want to thank Heather, my assistant, for all her work. I want to thank Christine for writing the book. I would tease her when things would get tough. I would say, write a book, they said. It'll be fun, they said. And I mean, it was such an education. I will never look at a book the same way. The writing and the rewriting and the content editors, copy editors, proofreaders, interior design. What an education. But her and I we never stopped. She kept moving forward, and just an amazing accomplishment, Christine. I mean, kudos to you. So,
thank you.
Really.
I'd appreciate too if you do buy the book, if you would like to go leave an honest review as well. We would love your feedback, and you can do that on the platform for Amazon. So that would be fantastic, and I'd really appreciate it.
Yes. So I did not realize how important leaving a review is until I got into we're doing the book and talking to some other authors, and that review is super important. And I'll post something on how to do it, but basically, you go up to the stars and click on the stars where somebody else left a review. And to the right, there's the ratings. Just click on the ratings, and then it will say customer reviews. And right below that, it says write a customer review. So if you buy the book, read a chapter or two, and just go in and leave an honest review. Even if there's some things you don't like about it, leave that. I mean, just input and honesty is really important in these reviews. But just be aware of that, how helpful that is. It just gets the book out to more people by leaving the review. So I'll go through my checklist. I think I did everything. Is there anything else you'd like to share, Christine?
No, I just want to thank everybody for their support and their interest. And I really hope that, the book and the information and the tools that we have provided, is a game changer, and it will bring the profit into your business and your life that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you to our guests, and look forward to a profitable future.